Mac, we're going to do a little body score on him and see exactly what body scores are all about. Body scoring is nothing to be worried about. It's really very, very simple. A lot of people get to the point where they get confused a little bit about body scoring. There's 6 points to do body scoring. If you look at your sheet, number 1 is very emaciated, number 9 is very obese. This is on what we call the Henneke scale. Dr. Henneke was a doctor over at Texas A&M. He developed the scale and it's now accepted in courtrooms throughout the United States. We're going to measure Mac just a little bit. We'll show you exactly what we mean by the different body positions. The first place that we look is on the neck. Mac's neck is not concave. It's certainly flush. It's even with the surface. So for that condition, what we really want is a neck that's sort of like this area, very rounded. We want that to be down here. We don't have that, so we're going to give him a 4 in this area. The next area we're going to look at is the withers. Max is one of these horses that has a very high withers. Doesn't matter high, low, whatever. Some horses you can't even see any withers at all on. But in this case, there's not very much meat up here. So that's what we're hunting for, is how far down do we go before we actually start feeling muscle tissue, or even fat stored. Again, the withers about 2 inches down before we feel any real flesh, any real meat tissue in here. We would like to have it more all the way up to the top so you can feel the bone and then start feeling muscle right here, no matter how high the wither the horse is. So in this case, we're going to give him probably about a 2. So it's very, very depleted. Okay, so we have a 4 and a 2. Right now we have 6 so far. Let's look at the other side over here for just a moment. Again, one of the areas that we really want to look at is right here, called behind the shoulders. Behind the shoulders in Mac, by sticking your hand right in here, on a very, very thin horse, you'll be feeling a lot of rib work. Make sure their legs are straight. One of the things, again, to always point out is that when you're doing this to a horse, make sure that somebody, in this case Mac is very calm, but somebody needs to be holding the horse. Make sure he doesn't turn around and kick you or bite you or anything like that. I'm not too worried about Mac. We stick our hand in here, we feel absolutely no ribs whatsoever. Fairly well covered with fat. So in this case, again, a 5. This is what we want. So we have a 5, a 4, which is 9, and a 2, which is 11. I'm good at this. Here we see a problem though. The spinal cord comes this way, down here. The ribs curve into the spinal cord. This is the spinal process, this area that sticks up above the spinal cord. And you can see, get a little bit closer here, you can see the way this is not rounded out at all. What we want is well-rounded, even to the point where it comes up and there's a little dip here before it goes on the other side. Sort of a concave slice here. He's very, very poor shape right here. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So we're going to give him a 2 here. So far we have 13. Ribs? No ribs in this case. He should be, because of this, you would think there'd be a lot more ribby, but he's not. We can feel the ribs, we cannot see the ribs. So in this case, again, we're not looking down here at all. Just ignore this part. Some very, very emaciated horses coming into the ranch, this would be a great big old fat belly like this. That's different case, different reasons for that. We're looking at the ribs. No ribs, so we're going to give that a 5. So with the ribs looking at 5 so far right now, we have 18. So let's remember that. We got 5 points, we need 1 more point to look at. And here's the point right here. This is the tail head. Tail head, as you can look on Mac, is very, very depressed. There's just not very much here at all. Not good, not good. We can feel a little bit of tissue here, a little bit of fat, but look at the slope. These should be well rounded. Some horses going to have a slightly tail head that sticks out a little bit, but nothing like this. So we're going to give this area a 2. Okay, so we have 18, add all that, have 20. Again, different areas, we add them all together, divide by 6, and in this case we come out with a 3.3. So max body score is a 3.3. Now, before you look at this horse and say, extremely emaciated, underfed, no, he's really not. Mac's problems involve his teeth. He simply has none. This horse is 34 years old, I believe. Rather elderly grand gentleman, but at the same time, without teeth, he's unable to really masticate properly, and he's missing a lot of the nourishment that a normal horse would get in their meal. 3.3. Now let's go look at a somewhat healthier horse. One thing we want to make sure that we are is right across the high point of the withers. It's very, very important. Not back here, not up here, but the very high point of the withers. And taking a regular weight tape, I'm going to come around and look, and we're going to see that this horse is 708. 708. Now you can look at the horse and tell in the emaciated condition that it is, and it should be a lot heavier than this. I'm going to estimate this horse should be around 900, 920 pounds in that area. So taking that into consideration, we are how much difference?
Between 10 to 20 pounds. I mean 200, 180 to 200 pounds.
Print that.
Right?
Okay. This is our help here at Habitat. But we're talking about around 200 pounds underweight. Okay, now let's take the height while we're at it. Just for record keeping. And again, on these weight tapes, there's going to be a place here to put your foot. Not touching this to the ground, but your foot is going to go right here. And the horse is going to move up. This horse is 14 hands exactly. And again, at the high point of the withers.